Hello, on this episode of The Average Tabletop Gamers, I'm looking at how to store your Blackstone Fortress miniatures. Hello, it is Sven here for The Average Tabletop Gamers, and today I'm going to be talking about the Blackstone Fortress Storage System that Feldherr produce. So, I'm a big fan of keeping my models protected. I've got stacks and stacks and stacks of various different figure cases from throughout the years that I use to keep my miniatures nice and safe, especially ones that are hard to come by. And so, middle of 2020, I went mad and bought a load of Blackstone Fortress stuff and got it all painted up, ready to be played. The issue is, we always found with Blackstone Fortress, is some of the figures are a little bit fiddly, and so you find with a regular figure case, there's always the chance that you'll snap one of the weapons or one of the servo skulls or one of the little fiddly parts that hangs off the lovely miniatures that they are. So I had a look around and I found that Feldherr, who make loads of different figure cases for different game systems, produce a system for Blackstone Fortress, and so that's what I purchased. So I'm going to show you it now, because after having packed it up once and actually moved it around a couple of times for games, I found it being invaluable to getting everything in one place. I'll show you, it's actually two boxes that I've got here. So let's have a look first at the basic game box. Okay, so this is the Blackstone Fortress box, and you'll see here when I open it up, I cut the little protective bit in. What we've now got inside the box is we've got two foam inserts. One which is designed for most of your miniatures. I'll just move these bits off the top. And the other one that takes the miniatures plus some of the cardstock. And these inserts basically sit inside, and there is room underneath for you to put the tiles and various other bits of cardstock that you need for playing the game. So what I like about this is that it's laser cut foam, and it's laser cut specifically to get everything that's in the core box housed nicely in its own compartment. So you can see here we've got UR025 or whatever he's called, and he's got a little teardrop shaped piece of foam cut out just for him. And so obviously this has the advantage that any of the figures, whether it's slightly fiddly shape, are going to be protected because the foam's going to be in the right place. And then again, we've got sections here that are cut for the relevant size bits of card, and there's a few of the expansion pieces that are in here as well. I've already mixed some of them in. And obviously I think like this piece here is meant, you can see it's cut for a different size piece of card, but the way I've got these arranged, I've just added them in like this because, and I'll show you again the other box I've got now to go alongside this. So this is the first bit. So it's actually very good because you do get the foam toppers just to sit over. The only thing I will say is that it does stand tall of the side of the box. So what you find is with this, that once you have got your various bits in, what you will find is that the lid isn't going to go right the way down. However, if you're storing your box on a shelf, it's not really that big a problem. Just try not to sit anything on top of that, because I think it might collapse the foam over time. So that's the main box. So you can buy that separately. In fact, I'll tell you now, everything, all the individual bits that you're going to see here throughout this next box, as well as the first one, you can buy the individual components direct from Feldherr. So if you're making your own figure case, or if you've got a figure case that you're repurposing, you can buy the foam blocks themselves, the ones that are cut for various elements of Blackstone Fortress, or you can buy them as one big bundle. But that one, for the core box one, retails about £20. I think it's like €24.99. There's a few companies in the UK that also sell them for about £20. So that's the core one. So now I'll show you the big box. So now what we have here is quite a large box, and I'll tell you this now, it does fit nicely inside a Kallax. So for all of you Kallax lovers out there, it will fit inside a slot on a Kallax. So when we open it up, we've got some egg box foam in the top just to hold the lid in. And now we get into the various different levels of foam. So we've got loads of different bits of level, and this box is designed to hold everything in all of the released expansions for Blackstone Fortress. So the first tray is quite a big open one, and I've just got the game tiles in there. I've got some of the extra tokens and things in there that I use quite frequently, and obviously the spare stasis bags. So then if we take that one out, so you see the next one we've got, it's another one of the laser cut ones for figures. Now this one is specifically designed for if you've bought the Cultists of the Abyss and the Servants of the Abyss expansion, which I've got. Servants of the Abyss just isn't built and painted yet, so that's why these slots are empty. But you'll see I've got the second set of Cultists of the Abyss, and again, so figures like that in a regular figure case, you'd either end up hacking your figure case to bits to make them fit, or you would try and cram it in and it would get broken. But when you see how nicely that will sit into the purpose cut foam blocks, you'll see there. So it's also designed, these ones are designed to hold the extra cards that you would get in things like the Advanced Arsenal or the Abominable Intellect, if you've got a hold of those. Now I don't have those expansions, so what I've done is I've used this little middle slot here to house the two Ogrins. So I've obviously kit bashed the two Ogrins to use those. So these are the ones that were in the annual. So just to put those in there because I made those figures up. So next, and again this is where we keep going down through the layers, we're getting to the individual layers. So these layers are now the ones where they're the individual expansions. So again, this one here I think is meant for things like Abominable Intellect or Endless Peril or those card decks, but I don't have those, so I've just put some of the spare vault envelopes in there. I've got some dice in there. We've got one here which is for the card stock for I think it was the Escalate Ascension. And here's another bit that I quite like. So you get these little 3D printed trays which are for you to put your counters in. So I've not sorted the counters out into these yet, but these are nice because they basically fit into these little hexagonal slots, so it'll actually hold your tokens in place for you. But we've got diving deeper in, we've got one here cut for the Zote, which was the Deadly Alliance expansion. We've got, there's the models from Escalation, which was the extra heroes and the cultists, and again the card deck that was in that box. And then we've got No Respite, and again depending on which one you get, they've got the foam cut for the miniatures and to hold the tokens. We've got Traitor Command, so again we've got the two slots for the Ogren and the Commissar, and then we've got the slots for the various card stock elements. And then at the bottom we have here, now I haven't put all the tiles and things into these again, I'm still sorting through some of the card stock into the box, but you'll see there we've got slots for the Amble plus his minions, the tokens, and obviously the tile set for him. And then lastly in the bottom here we have the rest of the, this is quite a heavy one, the rest of the pack for Escalation I think it was. And again, so this one we've got the spots for the minis, so the two big Guardian drones. We've got all the extra tiles stacked up there, and then again this is quite a nice one, so you've got again a 3D printed tray to hold the tokens, and then beneath that you've got another 3D printed tray that holds the card stock and the vault cards. So you can see there that one box, so that one box there will hold quite literally every expansion for Blackstone Fortress, and it'll keep all your miniatures nice and safe and secure. So a box like that with all that foam is probably going to be costly, and it is quite costly. So that box on its own will probably cost you around about £80. So I think it was about €100 I think it was to buy the box. So it's about 80 quid to buy the box depending on where you buy it from. However, if you factor in what a generic figure case would cost you with just square or rectangular cut slots would cost you to buy, and then by the time you'd modified that to try and fit the miniatures in and the cards, you're probably going to be paying around that anyway for something that you've made a hack job of. For me, the peace of mind of having my miniatures A in one place, B protected, and also, I guess, point C, easy to carry around. So I've already taken this around to Gary's house, and it was easy for us to basically get out the cards of the miniatures we needed and get access to them throughout the day when we were playing. I think that's well worth it for me, and especially with a company like Feldherr, where they've got a good track record of making figure cases and things like this, especially figure cases specifically for game systems. So they do it as a bundle, so you can buy the entire lot in one go from Feldherr's site, and probably from some of the other sites as well, but Feldherr do it as a bundle on theirs for €120, whatever that is in pounds these days, probably about £95 to £100 for the core box and all the expansions in the big kind of banker's box style thing, which I think is well worth it, because as I say, especially with Blackstone Fortress, a lot of these miniatures now you can't get again. You know, they're sold out worldwide, they go for silly money on eBay. So the last thing I want is to find out that one of the miniatures is snapped, one of the guns is snapped, and I'm having to pin it, and that just means I'm always wary about using it in a game. I want to make sure that when these go on the shelf, they're protected, they're in the foam, they're in a sturdy box, it's got good carrying handles, so it's not like I'm carrying a regular box. It's actually got reinforced plastic hand grips on it, handles on it. So that's kind of what I wanted from the carry box. And as I say, for something like the entire system of Blackstone Fortress, knowing what this would cost to replace, I think having a box like this is ideal. So overall, as I say, I'm a bit of a nerd for figure cases and things anyway. I've got figure cases going back to the original Games Workshop single layer foam ones. I've got cases from various different companies for various different game systems. This one is actually really nice in terms of the way everything's cut just right to fit. The only downside I would have would be that it's a little bit of a memory game when you've played a game to remember who goes where and what goes where. But there's ways around that. You know, you can take some photographs on your phone of when it's all in the right place and then mix and match it back to that. Print yourself out some of the guides. I think if you look on the website, the Feldherr website, they've got pictures of what it should be packed like. Print those out and put those in the box so you've got a guide. But as gripes go, that's tiny. So as I say, I think it's well worth the money, especially if you want to keep your stuff protected. So I'll put the links below to where you can go and find this on Feldherr's website. As I say, have a look around. Amazon, a few of the other online web stores for gaming supplies. You'll probably find the especially obviously if they're a Feldherr distributor, you'll find those, because obviously if you're in the UK buying from Feldherr, you are importing from Germany, so that might incur extra costs at the point of customs and things, especially given that we don't know how that's going to go at the moment. So you might be able to find it in the UK around about the same price. Just have a look around, but I'll put the link to the Feldherr one below so you can see what you're looking for. But yeah, as I say, I think it's a great box, and given that this means it's going to be much easier for us to now go somewhere else and play a game of Blackstone Fortress, it gets the thumbs up from me. As I say, we've already used it once to transport the entire lot around to Gary's house and play a game for a day, and it'll be used a lot more since then, or from then. So as I say, a brilliant product. I like it. Go check it out. While you're here, obviously remember to give us a like, share and a subscribe here on YouTube. Tell your friends about us. If you've seen something you like from us, give us a share anywhere in the social medias. Go check out our social media stuff. So if you want to see some pictures of the games of Blackstone Fortress that we've been playing, for example, go and check out our Instagram or our Facebook group or the Facebook page. We also have Twitter, so go and check out. I'll put the links below there. And until next time, we will say goodbye. See you later.